Hello, everybody. Jim Malone coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. We're live on YouTube. We're also streaming on Twitter. So hopefully you can see that, and of course on TikTok. Today the market moved very nicely, especially in the tech stocks. And one stock, of course, that everybody knows in particular went crazy today, and that was Tesla. It made a nice move above some very key levels, and I want to kind of get into that a little bit and show you kind of where I think that it may be going in the near future. But first, just wanted to reiterate, we are in a confirmed uptrend. The market is in a confirmed uptrend, and what this means is that it's time to come out of cash. We're in a power trend, and the market seems to be, the big boys seem to be coming back into the market. So definitely something that is looking good. So we're in this power trend. I'm 90% invested right now, and definitely something that you might want to take a look at. Just want to show you the IBD stock of the day. I don't own this one, but I think that it might be of interest to some people. It's Floor and Decor. FND is the symbol on that one. We're coming out of a cup with handle pattern. There is a buy point at 101.39, so it's definitely something you might want to take a look at. 101.39 is the buy point for Floor and Decor. So very interesting stock. For some reason, we're getting strength in the home builders. I know this doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but we're definitely getting a lot of strength in the home builders, and Floor and Decor happens to be doing very well. This is a 101 breakout. So if you want to go into that one, then you got something going on. Let me show you what I've got in terms of my lineup of stocks currently. Basically, this is what I'm in currently. My largest position by far is Tesla. It was up in the regular session $10.29, or about 4%. But interestingly enough, it's breaking out after hours. It's up almost another 4% after hours. So that's definitely something that you might want to take a look at. So you might want to jot that one down. Of course, Tesla, everybody knows that one. IoT, Samsara, this was up as well. I want to kind of jump on over to that. This was up 4%. The symbol on this one is IoT. I bought this one a few days ago. This is a Internet of Things stock, and it's up in the after hours too. So I want to show you the live chart on this one that I think is pretty interesting in terms of that. So let's see, we could kind of jump over there. Yeah, this is IoT, definitely looking very, very good. The breakout, it broke out over the 22.59 buy point. There's a pivot right here at 22.59. Relative strength on this one is 98, so it's very, very, very strong. We came up, we pulled back, and now we're starting to consolidate. If you bought this below the pivot, it theoretically, this would be you would be taking profits here because we're up over 30% from the base in a week. So that's tremendous. IoT, but I'm going to continue holding it. I'm going to put my stop probably at about 25 here. That's where I'm looking. That's where I'm looking to put my stop, is right about here at about 25. So definitely one you want to take a look at. IoT is the symbol there. And I did start another position in NVIDIA today. Of course, that's been a leader, and it was up strongly, 2%. Basically, what happened is that was really the first of the big techs to break out and move above a key level. And it pulled back to the 10-day. There we go. I got a little bit of a technical difficulty. NVIDIA is making a very nice move up again today. It's basically bounced off that 10-day line, the 10-day line being this little pink line here. Hopefully I can show you that. There we go. All right, so this is a little pink line here is the 10-day line. You can see it came up, it gapped up, basically last week. Then it went above the 400. Now 400 is resistance, pulled back down to the 10-day line, and now it's making a move up. So the next resistance level on this one is going to be about 400. I'm going to have to make a decision at 400 whether or not to sell or not. But definitely looking good too. This is one of the big, of course. This is one of the big stocks in for the for AI. I just almost said EV. Wow. Another one that I thought was going to do a little bit of Fluence Energy. That's kind of pulling back a little bit. The other one of note is Palantir. I'm also fairly heavy into Palantir. Let's look at that one, PLTR, and kind of show you what I've got regarding Palantir. There we go. All right, so Palantir, it's down a little bit after hours, but again, it got support right at the 10-day right at the 10-day line as well. You can see it. It came up, gapped up, and then pulled back down, and now it's basically at the got support at the 10-day line. This is when a stock is really running, typically it's going to get either support at the 10-day line or at the 21-day line. The pink line here is the 10-day line, and the green line that we have is the 21-day line. So just wanted to show you that. But we definitely got some good support here. We're off a little bit in after hours, 5 cents off after hours. But I think that this one also may look pretty good. All right, well, let's get into some questions. Thanks everybody for taking a look today. Always appreciate when you drop by here. All right, let's take a look. Lisa, okay. Palantir, can we buy it again? Yes, I do believe we can. Palantir is looking very, very good. So I'm jump back over to the Palantir chart here. Now, here's what I'm thinking about Palantir. This is a good opportunity, I believe, because I do think this is an AI stock, really, in essence. So definitely looking very good. Now, one of the things I want to show you on this chart is this little egg here, kind of this little egg-shaped thing. What this means is that this is the largest volume since the beginning of the last beginning of the last pivot. The last pivot was right here, 1034, and then this was a sell signal. So we definitely have it. Kind of got it got up here above 15. People sold it, but it got support at the 15-day line. So I definitely think that's a good place. The problem with Palantir right now, of course, is it's quite extended, and I want to show you that we're 17% above the 21-day line, but I do believe we could buy it at the 10-day line, and that is basically at 14.55. So here's the thing: I definitely think we can buy it here. It's probably going to move down a little bit after hours. Here's what I would do on this one potentially to get some Palantir is I would look to set a limit order for Palantir at and I think you could do it right at the 10-day line, which is 14.55, and see what happens. You may not get it, but GTCB. There we go. I think what's going to happen here is we're going to get another opportunity at the we're going to get another opportunity at the 10-day line. So let me show you that here. So here's what I would do. I would set it a limit order basically at 14.55, good to cancel. That's the 10-day line that's right here. I definitely think we can get back in there. I do think it's going to consolidate here. That's what it's looking like, anyways. And I think we could get an opportunity here. I definitely think this is going to be a leader. Notice the relative strength rating; it's 98, so that's very, very strong. And that's looking very, very good for this. I'll just show you. Definitely, Palantir today was up basically 50 cents, but that's 3.4%. It's not a very expensive stock, so definitely looking good. Also, one that I want to show you here is TTD, the trade desk. I have a position in this one as well. I definitely think this is an interesting stock. I sold today. I sold some of my Google, sold half of my Google, and I haven't yet bought more TTD, but I definitely think this one is starting to move. In after hours, it's 74.64 here. This is the buy point, 66.35. Now it's a little extended. I mean, it's sometimes it's bad buying these extended stocks, but notice on the 21-day line, normally we want to buy that within 5% of the 21-day line. The 21-day line is 69.59, but now it's about 7% above that. But I still think this is actionable. Why? Because I see some institutional money coming into the techs, and this is one of them that I think has a lot of potential for more, for more investment from some of the funds. And this is TTD. So this is another one that we could possibly look at for entry here. So definitely interesting there. All right. So I definitely think we can buy Palantir. And I think that the level that we want to buy it at is at about 14.55 or so. That's going to be where it's going to be at. All right, let's go back to Tesla for Sandeep. Thank you, TSLA. And I was buying this one. I've been buying this one basically for. If you could I'll put on my show you my buy points here. Let's see if I can do that. So, yeah. So basically, I put it. There we go. So you can see I've been accumulating. This is my accumulations here. My last buy was on the 6th. I didn't buy yesterday or today, but as it moved above that key 207, I started buying it basically here. It's called a low cheat. This is what Mark Benevitti would say. We draw the reversal line. This is the reversal line in red here. Why? From the two previous high points, that's where you enter. You enter basically, and then you pyramid into the stock. But these are sort of my buy points so far. I've been trying to increase my position, every day. Now I don't know if I'll do it tomorrow. I don't know if I'll increase my position in this one. I've been buying it in other accounts. My main account, I'm probably not going to increase the position too much, but in my other accounts, I'm probably going to do that. So definitely, great opportunity. I think it's going to continue work, hopefully. All right, Lisa, thank you very much again. Where do you normally put a stop loss when the stock goes up 3% in the profits, not loss to gain? Okay, great. Here's what I do typically when the stock starts to run and I start to move up. I start to move up my my position. What I typically do is I will go and I will move my stop loss up basically to the next line of to the next index line. So let's go to Palo Alto Networks, PANW. Now this is what I don't have. I wish I had this one. This was still absolutely actionable. And here's what I would do if I owned Palo Alto. I'm probably going to try to buy this tomorrow because I think this one's starting to make a move too. This is the best of the breed when it comes to the software security stocks right now. We had a golden cross back here back in the first week of March. Then we went sideways, but the key level here is what happened just a few days ago, and that's this consolidation, and it moved up into the buy zone. Now it's at the very top of the buy zone. It came up and then basically it got a little bit of resistance, pulled back to the to the buy point. And if you'll notice on the volume, we had a huge spike yesterday. That was a pullback. That was basically the shorts getting washed out, and now we're seeing some strength. So here's the thing: I definitely think that is buyable right now. Now I wish that I had bought under the pivot. The correct buy, if I had been buying Tesla, I would have been buying this. Would have been on this line. And what I'm doing here is I'm drawing from the higher highs across. This is the reversal line. As it moves above this reversal line, that's where you start your position. Then when you get to the pivot, you add 25%. So it gets to go 50, 25%. And then when it goes into the buy zone, you add another 25%. That gets you to the full position. But I still think it's actionable here. 222.38, 222.93 after hours. I definitely think this was an actionable. Let's take a look at kind of some of the technicals here. We've got 21 days on the technicals. Okay, so on the 21-day line, we're 7% above that 21-day line. That's looking pretty good. That's still actionable. Definitely like that. The thing about Palo Alto Networks, and I think this is something that really want to point out here, we have 100% checklist on Palo Alto Networks. That's rare. So right now we're in a power trend. We've got 100% on Palo Alto. I'm probably going to be selling some of my other stocks and buying Palo Alto because I think Palo Alto could run too. I think it could get ready to make a strong move as well, because it definitely is the best of the breed of the software security stocks, at least for right now. So very, very good opportunity there. All righty, let's take a look at AMC. I haven't heard that name in a long time. That's sort of the meme stock of a while ago, AMC. And let's take a look. Ooh, terrible chart on AMC. This is an example of a stock you don't want to buy. Now I know that everybody on Reddit, it was an amazing thing, but if you look at this, there is a downward trend. You just don't want to buy in a downward trend if you can avoid it, because it's very hard to call bottoms. It's very hard to find out exactly where it's going. It's bottoming out. So here's what I would do with this one. I wouldn't buy it, period. Relative strength is 9, just not looking very good at all. If we look at the overall chart, you'll notice it hit its peak right back here. This was back in 21. So this stock was great. This is in the Wayback. So if you go in the Wayback machine, 2 years ago, this stock was killer, but now it'll kill you. So I wouldn't buy this stock. I wouldn't touch it. It's in a downward trend. You just don't want to buy anything like this. It's just not worth it. The whole idea with canceling trading is you're trying to get the best of breed. You're trying to get the best stocks that you can, the leaders, and then with the leaders, then you're trying to buy at the right levels. That's very, very key. All right, bottom fishing on Rivian. Wow, I don't know. With Tesla around, I wouldn't be bottom fishing Rivian. I wouldn't. Now, here's one stock that I can show you that's not Rivian that could be bought, and that's Li Auto, LI. Let's take a look at it real quick. And I want to show you that one. This one's starting to make a move, and I definitely think that this one, forget about Rivian. Buy this one. This is a Chinese stock. Now, normally, I'm not that bullish on Chinese stocks, but this one is the one that there's going to basically be. It looks like 3 companies that are going to be in this EV space in a big time way. Of course, Tesla is going to be dominant, but that's an expensive stock per share. Li Auto, LI, that's one that's doing well. Now Li Auto doesn't sell in the United States, but it's doing pretty darn good. This is Li Auto, and unfortunately it's pretty extended right now. So I don't know if you could buy it because really my pattern recognition is saying, basically that the last pivot was at 20, was basically at 25.36. But and that would be right here. So if it pulls back closer to the 21-day line, we might be able to buy it. Let's see how far extended it is. Yeah, it's 10% above the 21-day line. Let's see. I'm going to go over to the weekly chart to see if that could be, it's in a profit zone right now. But I think that you could buy this one. This one's going to move higher, I believe. This one's going to move higher. So let's compare this with Rivian. I want to just do this really quickly. These are two of the lower priced EV stocks. Let's go back to the first of the year, and let's put Rivian in. Okay, and then I'm going to jump over and let's see. I'm going to compare Rivian and Li Auto here. There we go. All right, so this is Rivian and Li Auto. Let's see if I can move that over a little bit. There we go. This is Rivian here. Rivian is in a downward trend. You can see that, and it's continuing to be in a downward trend. It's kind of gone flat, but it's still in a downward trend. Li Auto, on the other hand, is an upward trend. So this is the one you want more than this one if you're looking for a low-priced EV stock, would be Li Auto. So I would, if I was looking here for to do this, I would say LI over RIVN in low cost EV stocks. So that's kind of my oops. There we go. That's kind of my take on it, is that Li Auto probably is going to be the better of the two here if you're looking for an EV stock. But here's the thing, the stock market is unfair. Typically, 20% of the stocks or less will get 90%, 80 or 90% of the gain. That's the Pareto's law. So even with the high expense of Tesla, I do think that it's going to get the bulk of the investment. So you might want to try to buy fewer shares of Tesla. Basically that's what I'm doing. All right, Tony. Thank you, Tony, so much. NVIDIA, where do you think it will be next 2 to 3 weeks? Boy, that's tough to say. It's always tough to say, but let's look at NVIDIA. I started a position today. I was late on that. I also have a position in AMD as well. And so, that might be a way that we could look at it. But let's take a look at the NVIDIA screen here. And take a look. There we go. Here's NVIDIA. Let's go over. There we go. Here's NVIDIA. This is the daily chart. What happened, of course, is we had this gap up here, and so we're in a downward trend. I definitely think it's going to get support at the 10-day line. Now, why am I keying off that one? Well, because the reason why NVIDIA may run even farther is because if you look at the weekly chart, we're at a higher high. Okay, that's the key. In CAN-SUM investing, we're always looking to buy at the higher high. So I think that this definitely could potentially move above 400. Now the resistance for NVIDIA is 400. So I definitely think in 2 to 3 weeks we could move above 400. That's what I'm thinking is probably going to happen. We're going to move 400. I'm going to go to the monthly chart and kind of show you. NVIDIA is at the all-time high. This is where I see resistance right here at 400. Now it went all the way up. We're looking at the monthly chart here. It pulled back and then it made its run, and now it's poking up against 400. I definitely think that in about 2 to 3 weeks, we're likely to see it at 400. If it can move above 400, then we can even go higher. So 400 is the resistance here. That's where I think it's going to be in about 2 to 3 weeks. So that's a great question, Tony. Appreciate it. About 400, that's where I see it. And that's where I see resistance. All right. Thank you so much. Jim, any advice to someone new to investing? I have 10K to invest and getting no interest on. Well, you know what? You might want to take a look at this one. I wouldn't invest all of my money in this one. I'm very, very bullish right now, of course, on I'm very, very bullish on Tesla. Okay, but the problem with Tesla right now is that Tesla shares are very, very expensive. There is an ETF. Oh, let me see. I can't remember what it is that does 1.5 times Tesla. Let me see if I can find it. Oh gosh, why can't I should have had this one available for you. Let me just really quickly here see if I can get see if I can get something on that. Anyways, the Tesla leveraged ETF would be something that I would be looking at. So let's see if I can find that just really quick. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's the bear one. The bull one. Okay, TSLL. This is the one. This is the one that that we might want to take a look at. Let me see if I can show you this ETF. This is so that if Tesla shares are expensive, this would be a way that you could participate. I think Tesla's going to move probably. I think Tesla's going to move much further. Now, this is a way that you could get in on the Tesla move. This is not Tesla. This is a Tesla Bull ETF. So if Tesla goes up 1%, this goes up 1.5%, and right now it's looking very good. So here's what I would consider on this one with the Tesla Bull. It's up in the after hours too, by the way. So this one. Put it up there for everybody on the screen here. This is called the Tesla Bull 1.5x ETF, and it is the symbol on this one is TSLL. That's what it is. Let's see if I can put that up on the screen. TSLL for everybody out there. Great. All right. So this is the Tesla Bull ETF, and what this does. Let me put this over here for everybody on TikTok. It's called an ETF. It's an exchange traded fund, and the symbol on this one is TSLL. Now, I'm not recommending this company because I have not traded this one. But this one is going to seek the same performance as Tesla. So for $15, essentially, you can participate. I would consider buying this one. Now, unfortunately, the buy point on this one was back here at yeah, there we go. No. Okay, the buy point on this one was really here at 1283. We're currently at 1591. So I would be a little bit careful about getting in this one, but I think this one is getting a lot of interest. If you only have $10,000, I wouldn't put more than I wouldn't put more than $500 in this, but I think you could really benefit here with this one because it tracks the price of Tesla. So that's one of the things that I think you might be interested in. So that would be a way that you could do it. Also, you could buy a larger ETF like the QQQ that contains a lot of Tesla, but I think it's more of a pure play. Tesla is a trillion-dollar capitalization company, so I definitely think that that one might work as well. All right, Sandeep is asking about Costco and Boeing. Let's look at Costco. COST. Some of the major retailers have been warning, so that's kind of an issue that we sort of have to deal with. I don't like this chart, unfortunately, as much as I did before. Here's the chart for here's the chart for Costco, and let's kind of go over here, move it over. Yeah, there we go. We're still in this downward trend. Here's the thing. I'm going to draw that reversal line in here. and we did move above it. So what this reversal line is, we go to the top, we go to the peaks of each, anytime it makes a peak, and then we draw a line. Unfortunately, we did just break out, and it just looks like it's changed direction from a downward trend to an upward trend, but I am still not sold on this. We had very, very good earnings that came in, but I would be a little bit concerned. It's 74 relative strength, which I think is good. And we did get the 50-day line moving above the 200-day line. That's very bullish. That's the golden cross. Here's the thing on this one. I would probably, if I were to buy this, I would probably buy it on a limit order, and I would try to buy it basically to the bottom of where it was today. So here's what I would do on that. Let's see if I can show you the price that I would put a limit order in on. I would put a limit order in at about 4.95. Okay, now we're at 5.15. So it is pulling back. See, this is one of the reasons. Tomorrow it's probably going to pull back. I think it's going to go and hit the 10-day line, which basically the 10-day line is 5.10. Now the reason I would go at 4.95 is because I would try to move up my limit order throughout the day. I think it's going to go down. It may go lower than the 10-day line and then move higher. So that would be potentially a good way to go. Costco is in an upward trend, barely. It just moved to an upward trend, because by buying the reversal line, you can see basically up until here, up until the end of May, it was in a downward trend, and then we popped through that. That's a change of character, the change of direction, and it's now moving higher. So that's looking good. It's a good stock. I wouldn't go in heavy on this one. I'm a little bit concerned with the retail sector in general. It's a great company, but I wouldn't go in heavy on it. But if I did, I would be buying it. I would be buying it with a limit order at about 4.95. So that's where I would be looking. Now let's look also at BA. That's Boeing. And Boeing, this one is different. This one is starting. Now, Boeing has been having a lot of difficulty with their Starliner. That's the launch and space capsule system that competes with SpaceX. They just haven't been able to get a good result on that. So, and they did have to scrub emissions. So, Boeing, is in a little bit of trouble there, but we're definitely in a consolidation on Boeing. But I think that, other than that business, their commercial business, their commercial airliner business is recovering definitely. And unfortunately, because of the war in Ukraine, I have a feeling that they're going to get orders from the military. Not that I'm liking that, but I just think that's just, reality. We're in a consolidation. We're below we're below the pivot. The pivot is 221 right here. It's 221. So let's draw the reversal line here. We're definitely moving above the reversal line. If I had to pick between the two, Costco and Boeing, I would go with Boeing in a heartbeat. Why? Because first of all, it's not extended, and second of all, I definitely think we're going to move through the pivot at 221.33, and we definitely, even though it's off in the after hours, this is one of the reasons why we want to put a limit order in here to buy it. I would put my limit order in basically at the low of the, basically at the 21-day line at 205. That's where I would be looking to do a limit order. Let's see. 207. This is where I'd want to buy it, right here at 21-day line, 207.04. That would be where I would be looking to buy a position in Boeing. It's definitely worthy of doing that, but I wouldn't buy it at market. I would try to get I would try to do a limit order 205. That's kind of where I would go. So interesting. All right, Lisa, thank you so much. Should you play a call on the Adobe earnings? Ooh, that's not a bad idea. Let's take a look at Adobe. ADBE. For everybody out there, these doing a earnings call during an earnings options call is a great way potentially to make money, but it is a little tricky. Let's kind of analyze things to see It looks very strong. We've got earnings in 7 days. So this would be a relatively short dated option here. So let's look to see kind of what's happened on the last few earnings. Well, the last earning that we had, we were up, and the stock and the stock moved up. So that's good. Prior quarter, the stock the earnings were up, and we saw a decline. This is interesting. We saw actually a decline. So it's kind of a mixed message here. Let me go to the weekly chart to look to see. Yeah, okay. It seems as if, at least for the last 3 quarters, we've all had positive earnings. So we're going to be expecting a positive earnings on. We're going to be expecting a positive earnings for this. Let's see. I'm going to take a look to see if I can look at the last quarter. We were up. Okay, last quarter we were up 9%. So we've had steady earnings when we've had steady beats. So the market is going to be expecting a beat here. According to the estimates, I don't know. I would be a little bit careful on this one. I think that I don't know. This is a good question. I think you might be able to do an earnings option. I wouldn't do a lot of them, but it does look like, at least from what I'm seeing here, looking back at the history, it looks like we have a situation where most of the time, if they can beat estimates, then let's take a look. Here's a way to find out. Earnings Whispers. By the way, if you don't know about this site, this is a good one to check to see if there is a potential for. They kind of look to see kind of what they're saying. Yeah. Okay. Well, let me pull up. Let me pull this up here. So what I'm seeing, anyways, is what I'm seeing on Earnings Whisper is that they're looking for a beat on it. The analysis. So let me. Okay. All right. So let's look at the pivots here for Earnings Whispers. The pivot is 424. So we're already above the pivot. We're already above the pivot, and we're at 440. And we're looking at, you know what? I would probably be very careful here. I probably would be. I think the short-term price is going to go down. Now, here's the thing. I think it's going to fall. I don't think you want a call option on this one. And here's why I'm saying that. If you look here, we've got a short-term price with a down arrow. This is a very good website. This is a very technical website. I think in the long term we're looking good, but I think we're going to fall back down to 224. So I would not go with this. I would not go with this call option here. What I would do instead is that, let's go back to the chart. I would go, if we're looking back at the chart, 224 is the pivot. So let's look at here. Sorry, not 224, 424. Excuse me. It's right there. That's the pivot. It's not showing on my pattern rack here, but that's the pivot right here. So I believe if you were to buy it here, a call option here, it's probably going to move back down to a support on earnings, even if they're good. So I think this is going to fall on earnings. That's my guess. It's going to fall. It's going to fall on earnings, and if it falls on earnings, you would be out on that call. So here's what I would do. I might put a put. I know this sounds really weird, but I might consider a put. I might consider a put at selling a put at like 420. I might consider that. but you're going to have to be able to buy the stock. So I probably would pass on this one, Lisa. I would probably pass. I would probably pass on this because of what Earnings Whispers is saying, and so it's just I'd probably pass on it. But I appreciate the question so much. All right, Jim, can you do some option investing? Yes, absolutely. No financial advice, right? I can't. By the way, everybody out here, I'm not offering you any financial advice. Please don't take this as financial advice. I am just an amateur like you, everybody out here. I don't hold any degree. I mean, I have a degree, but I don't hold any licenses or anything like that. So it's just for entertainment purposes only. I'll definitely put some option information on here, and I'm going to probably make some option videos. But thank you so much for that. I just want to show you the basic, covered spreads and that kind of thing. So yeah, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. Let's look at TikTok here, everybody. Okay, all right. Upstart. Oh my goodness, this is a blast from the past. This is coming from TikTok. UPST Upstart, and let's look at Upstart Holdings. Wow, it's starting to look good. You know, you go away for 5 minutes and something happens. 32.84. Let's look at the weekly chart on this one. Yeah. See this? We were in this long-term bear trend, and then we made a reversal. I mean, we made a move finally off the bottom about here. So let's look at their earnings. I don't like the fact that their sales are declining. I don't really like that, but I mean, it is improving. The stock is improving, and it is above the 200-day line, and we do have the golden cross potentially just happening right here. So you're right. I mean, something's going on here, and it's up after hours. Wow, I don't know about this one. This is very speculative. I don't like the consumer finance area right now because of the interest rates. It's just, that's my primary concern here, is that the interest rates are going up. I mean, I think that the Fed's going to raise the interest rates, and that's where they get their money. So I'm a little bit worried about the cost of capital here, but it definitely is looking good. I mean, this is looking good. Would I buy this one? Probably not. I'll be honest with you. I probably wouldn't buy it. It's got a 56 checklist, and the pattern recognition. Well, unfortunately, the last time it had a base pattern, this is in a very, very long base pattern. 191 and 32. So, this is bottom fishing all the way. I don't know. Let's look and see what the overhead supply is on this one. See if I can, let's see if I can see what the overhead supply. What I'm talking about with the overhead supply is that this line here is at 18 months backwards. It reached its high about 18 months ago, and it's been on a downward trend ever since. So if people held on to the stock, which I doubt they did, all of these people here, you see, when it starts to move up, they're going to start to sell. My guess is most of these people would have sold and booked their losses, but there's still a lot of overhead supply relative to this stock. So I probably would not be a buyer for it on Upstart. I just want to wait to see. There's other better stocks out there. There's leaders. You can buy the leaders. Why buy the laggards? That's kind of the whole thing. All right, Lyft. Lyft, of course, is kind of a Uber. By the way, we want to look at Uber because I think that's the leader. But let's look at Lyft as well. LYFT. Lyft. And here's the chart for Lyft. We've similar to the pattern of Upstart. We're just all the way down. This was the level. This is the overhead supply line here, and as you can see, this is almost at the peak, and it's just been down ever since. Now the question is, can it turn the corner? It's got a relative strength of 24. I just don't think you want to buy this one right now. Let's compare this against Upstart, which not Upstart. Let's compare this against Uber. U or BR. I think that's it. U or BR. Right there we go. Uber. UBER. There we go. Okay, so let's look at this since the first of the year. And what we're doing is we're comparing Uber and Lyft to see kind of, you know, what if we want to be in this space, kind of which one has the best potential. Well, I definitely think it's going to be easy to figure this out. It's Uber by a long shot. It's up 60% since the first of the year. Lyft is basically market. So let's look at it in the last. Let's just look at it since the beginning of May. There we go. Yeah, Uber is clearly the leader here. Clearly the leader here. I wouldn't buy Lyft. I would potentially buy Uber. Let's look at Uber. All right. See the difference? Yeah. Okay. Well, I show you the difference. And let's look at the screen again. There we go. Oops, here. All right. So here we go. This is the screen for Uber. You'll notice that Uber has already started to make a movement up. So we're in an upward trend on Uber. If we go to Lyft, we're still in a downward trend. So you don't want to try to buy them off the bottom. You want to buy the one that's going and moving higher. So I would be picking Uber here. And again, I don't own Uber, but I think it is the leader in the space, and I think that it's the leader in terms of people investing in it as well. Uber has a relative strength of 94. It's right at a buy point. This might be a good price to get into it. Technically, let's go back to the daily chart to see if we can put a position in. All right, yeah, 21-day line. Yeah, we're just about 5% above the 21-day line. This is not a bad place to buy Uber. It's still in the buy zone. This is the buy zone here. We're about 5% above the 21-day line. The pivot 31.58 on this one. So this is a potential former leader that's starting to look very, very good. So Uber has a good potential, and if we bought it here, we would not be buying it extended. But we don't really not going to get that much of a chance on it. But I would say that this one, if I was looking at this space, at the rideshare apps, hailing apps, I would go with Uber, not Lyft. So that's kind of the long and the short of it, right? Okay, so let's look at. I think we're almost out of time. Let's look at PL. Let's look at PLab. This is a good stock too. Look at PLab, and that'll probably be it for today. Phototronics, and this is the daily chart. This is the daily chart for Phototronics. 93 relative strength. Wow, this is a little extended though, but we're starting to see. Yeah, this is a potential golden cross. The 50-day line looks like it's going to move above the 200-day line. Excellent earnings. Wow, this is looking good. But the question is, can we size a position here? I don't know. Yeah, we're pretty far above the 21-day line. We're 15%. So here's the problem with this one. I like this. It's just that we don't have a good entry point on it. We don't have a good entry because it moved up so much here. What I would consider doing if you want to pick this one up is I would try to see if we could buy it maybe right about there. As it's going to pull back a little bit. There's definite. If we're looking at the weekly chart, let's look at the daily chart. Yeah, it definitely looks. So I would try to buy it at a limit order at 22. I don't know if you can do that though. It looks like a really good stock, but it's extended. So that's my problem with it. I don't have a problem with the stock. I have a problem with the position. So PLab is extended, unfortunately, because that looks like a potentially good one. So PLAB is extended. I don't think it's a good place to buy it here, unfortunately. I just don't. It can, the pullbacks can be brutal. So I probably wouldn't buy at that level. Okay, and last one. Let's do one last one, and that's SoFi. And this has been so beaten up. This is also in the consumer space, and I'm a little bit concerned here with that. This is the daily chart here. We're coming up to a potential buy point off of a cup basis 824. Here's the thing: if it can move above 824 and hold it, we might have a potential. The problem is it's still really extended. It's 27% above the 10-day line. Here's what I would do. I probably wouldn't buy this one right now, and there's a lot of reasons for it. Even though we do have a golden cross on it, I would probably wait until it closes above $10. And why would I say that? Well, let's see. I think we're a little bit early. I think if it can come above $10 and hold that, that would be a place to buy it. Now, why would I buy it? Why would I buy a stock at $10 if I could buy it at $8? Well, this shows if it gets to $10, then the institutions can invest in it once again, and that's a problem with startups with stocks, is that if they trade below $10 a share, the funds typically they will not buy it, even if it's good, even if it has a good chart. So if we're looking at the fund ownership on this, I'm going to take a look at the fund ownership here. Who owns it? Owners and funds. There we go. You see, we haven't really had an increase in the number of funds that have been owning it basically since March of 22. So we if it goes above $10, we're going to see more funds buy this. But let's look at the. I just want to look at the funds here, and it does look like. There's some pretty good funds in here, actually. So yeah, there's some pretty good funds. I would probably wait on this one. I probably wouldn't buy it, just because I think that it just needs to be stronger before we could buy that. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody. So appreciate you taking a look today at the show. By the way, if you aren't already on. If anyone can help me out and I need to get a stream key for TikTok, and I don't have one. I'm trying to get one so that I don't have to do a camera. I can just live stream directly to TikTok. So any of you know about that, I'd really appreciate that. If you could put that in the comments, if you know how to get a stream key for TikTok. I don't know how. I've been looking around the internet. I just can't find anything really on that. But until tomorrow, I'll be back tomorrow, and of course, hopefully everybody we're in a power trend, so it's time to look for stuff to buy. I think Tesla has a ways to go. I think that Tesla is going to move higher if we can hold, if we can hold above about the 235, 237 range. I think Tesla's probably going to go to at least 300 in this move. So. I'm very bullish on Tesla right now, at least in the short term. I'm bullish on Tesla. Also, with NVIDIA, the resistance on NVIDIA is about 400. So we have about $15. It's about 385 right now, and I think we could ride that up to 400. I'm probably going to sell positions at 400 that I have. I own I own NVIDIA, but I'm probably going to let it go only about to 400, and then I'll probably be a seller. But I think that's going to be resistance for NVIDIA. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for taking a look at the show today. Please, it helps me out so much if you could just like the show. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. You could smash the like button. That really helps us. And also subscribe on YouTube as well. And basically, until tomorrow at 5 o'clock, that's going to be Friday. Happy trading, everybody. See you tomorrow at 5.